You get to choose your hard. You can either choose the hard of discipline, of focus, of doing the work, or the hard of avoiding this and having a hard life, of leaving everything up to chance, of leaving it to whatever fate will deliver you. Choice is always yours. Question is, what will you choose? And this is the question that gets brought up a little bit. Because obviously, I'm still in the process of learning these skills and building these skills out. You know, we're 180 odd days into the greatness universe, you know, reaching for the greatness club, as I've dubbed it. But I highly, highly value discipline and doing the work, and doing the work for the sake of the work, because it builds satisfaction, it builds momentum, it builds joy and focus, and the work has to get done, and oftentimes just for the sake of doing the work. That if we are too caught up in what this will achieve, obviously you need an outcome, but the outcome is less important than the action. It's the, cliched thing. It's not the destination, it's the journey. It's who you become through the action that matters. And as you embody that man that you are trying to be, who undertakes those actions, who does the work without question, who shows up every day to do what is required, as you are doing that, as you are participating as that man, you gain the results, you gain the benefits. And the benefits of being that man and embodying him will far outweigh the outcomes of the other things you were trying to achieve. We've spoken about it before, and we'll continue to speak about it. When it comes to health and fitness, yeah, it's fantastic that you are healthy. It is fantastic that you are strong. It's fantastic that you have a great physique, that you have the capacity to do whatever it is you want at any moment, at any time. Those are really great outcomes, and that you feel good about yourself. But the real benefits come from confidence. They come from the discipline. They come from the momentum. They come from the halo effect of doing the work, and how that transfers into all areas of your life. Working out, disciplined training, doing it every single day, eating healthily, not dieting, check that language, not dieting, eating healthy, which just should be a way of life. Doing those kinds of things create discipline, the ability to say no to short-term gratification for the long-term goal. That's what fitness and health teaches you. That if I say no to whatever it is, wine, chocolate, alcohol, whiskey, pizza, ice cream, whatever the fuck your fancy is, if I say no to that now, I will reach X later. If I choose to do the workout now and push myself through that discomfort, I will achieve Y later. It teaches you the skills of being able to focus on doing the work now for a delayed result. And that is such an important skill. It is a skill that transfers to everything, and one that is so missing in today's society. And it is the thing that if you can teach this to your children, if you can teach this skill to your kids when they are really little, God will bless them. You have blessed them in this life by doing that. By showing by example that skill, that teaching them the power of discipline, the power of focus, the power of delayed gratification, you are setting them up for life. There was a test done, must have been 20 or 30 years ago now, called the marshmallow test. And so the researchers take 5-year-olds into a room and they put a marshmallow down on the table. And they're like, all right, I'm going to leave. And if you cannot eat this marshmallow until I get back, you can have 2 marshmallows. Or you can just have the one now. What will you choose? Now, what they found was a large percentage of the children couldn't delay the gratification. They couldn't put off eating the marshmallow to gain double their reward. They couldn't do it. Most of them would cave and give in now. And the ones that could, the ones that found ways to distract themselves, to put it off, and to delay eating the marshmallow, they found that they had better results in school and were better off. And they followed these kids up 20 years later. And they found every single one of them who survived the 5 minutes, who could delay putting off eating the marshmallow, had become hyper successful in their life. They were lawyers, they were doctors, they were entrepreneurs, they were athletes, they were CEOs, they were all the things. They had excelled in their lives. And the ones who hadn't, and at a staggeringly accurate rate, didn't do well, who had eaten the marshmallow. The ones who'd instantly given in, not all, but lots of them, had become drug addicts, had become the other end of the spectrum, had not done well in their lives. And it's this skill of delayed gratification. Those who can do the work without an expectation of a result on a long enough timeline for the sake of just doing the work, because the work needs to get done, and this applies to all areas, to health, to fitness, to business, to money, to relationships, to finances, to whatever it may be. Just showing up and doing the work because the work needs to get done will have greater success in their life. Alex Hormozi talks about it all the time. He's like, those who can just show up and deliver value for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, will reach unimaginable success. Because if you can delay the need to receive the outcome now and just do the work for the sake of the work, you will be successful. Unquestionably so will you be successful. And this is where we're at. That you have the choice at all times, always, and I will keep reiterating this point, that you are always in control. You always have the choice. You always have the ability to take control of your life. Your life is a direct reflection of your past choices, of the actions that you've taken, of the thoughts, habits, and actions that you have. Don't like your life? Change those things. Change the way you make choices. And look, sometimes those things can linger for a long time and you have to just keep showing up. I had this discussion with a friend the other day and I was like, there are certain areas where I am still paying the price for past discrepancies, for past discretions. And it's hard. And there are some days where I don't want to fucking face that shit anymore. I don't want to keep doing it because I'm like, I am doing the right things. I am doing the work and I still am not reaping the rewards. And within that, I had to have these reminders. It was that one of, yes, because you are paying the price for past choices. And now you have to deal with it. You have to just keep showing up and doing the work because the work has to get done. You have to do the work for the sake of the work. And eventually, the results will come. Unquestionably, the results will come. But you have to keep showing up, no matter what, and do the work. You have the choice at all times. You can have a hard life because you chose to constantly choose the easy way out. You constantly chose to take instant gratification over long-term satisfaction. Or you can choose hard of doing the work, of discipline, of focus, of grit, of determination, and just showing up every single day without expectation of the outcome, of just doing the work and doing good fucking work, not just doing it for the sake of doing it, but doing it right, doing it the correct way, with full force, with full passion, with full focus. for the sake of doing the work. And that's how you win. And not just win on a small scale. Yes, I understand you want the outcome. Yes, I understand that it is nice when you win. But instead of trading in for those small wins, instead of going instant gratification, you win for a small win, just do the work for the big win, for the long-term success. Because what's the point of winning if you don't maintain it, if you don't get the big win long-term? We are chasing long-term success, health, fitness, business, money, all these kinds of things. We are chasing not a small win now, we are chasing the long-term winning percentage. And that comes from constantly showing up and doing what is required, constantly showing up and doing the motherfucking work for the sake of doing the work. Because as I said at the start, it's not just that, it's about who you become from doing the work, from doing the right thing, from showing up consistently day in, day out to do the work properly, without exception. Who you become from that, as you embody that man, as you live as if, the cliches again, you fake it till you make it. Well, not quite. You live as if until it becomes true. You embody it. You live the habits, the actions, the thoughts of that man. You show up and do the work consistently. And then you become that man. That vision of yourself that you saw in your mind's eye. And you just keep doing that work. And you just show up and you show up and you show up. No matter how you feel, no matter what is thrown at you, you show up. And eventually, you will become that man. And you will live that life. And you will be the embodiment of that success. Because it really is that. How long can you show up? How many days in a row can you show up doing the work without an expectation of an outcome? Because on a long enough timeline, you will succeed. You will achieve those goals. And that's what it's about. The work doesn't give a shit about your feelings. The work doesn't give a shit about how you see the world. The work doesn't give a shit on what's going on. It just needs to get done. It just requires that you show up and get it done. And yeah, it sounds simple. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But this is how you achieve success. That's why you have to build the foundation of discipline and focus and drive and grit and fortitude. That's why we talk about you start at chasing greatness and you build that up, and you build it up through doing the chasing greatness 30-day challenges, and then you progress to 126 to greatness and you log that discipline and you build it even harder. And then after that you can progress into the greatness club, and that's when you've achieved unparalleled levels of discipline and focus and drive and determination and grit. And you've shown that you are ready and prepared to be uncommon amongst uncommon men. And that's when the game fucking changes. That's when new heights are reached. That's when new levels are reached. And by the time you've gone through that journey, and that's the point of the journey, you're a different fucking man. You come out the other side as a different human being. Because you've shown up, and you've shown up. You've committed to the work without an expectation of the outcome. And you've done it for a long enough period of time that everything else becomes simple. That everything else becomes easy. Because you're now embodying the man that you wanted to be. And then you redefine it and you start again. The journey never ends. This process never ends. You just get better at it. You just keep pushing forward. You just do better at the work. Because you get to choose your hard. You can choose a hard life because you refuse to do the work. You can choose a hard life because you took easy over difficult. In the short term, you took easy over doing hard work. Or you can choose hard work. You can choose discipline. You can choose focus. You can choose grit. You can choose to embody those skills. And then you'll have an easy life because you've done the hard stuff already. So that's it. These are the choices we have. The question is, will you take the ownership of them? Will you choose the heart of discipline and focus, or you choose the hard life? The choice is always yours. Now, as always, if you found this enlightening, spoke to something, intriguing, or anything in between, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love your help to grow this movement. Next, if you want to dip your toe in, you want to start seeing what the difference between choosing discipline and grit and choosing a hard life is, click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. Lastly, if you are really determined and ready to make a change, you want to enter the greatness world, please shoot me a message. Let's get you into Chasing Greatness 30-day challenge, and let's see who you can become when you embody that man with those habits, with that discipline, with that focus, with that drive. Let's see who you can be. Until then.